I mean, change it. There's stuff that could be added to it also. There's possibly a couple sewer expansions that are on the horizon that are not listed on here. But we can, I wanted to make sure you had this before we got into budget.
I had one question, if I could. The water main is on Highway 18 under 75, or not Highway, the 18th Street and Highway 75.
Yep.
That was bid into Vanderpool in 2016, and he's never performed.
Correct.
Do we need to rebid that? How do we go about that?
I would assume so. Yeah, that's where my note is there. I personally have never had a conversation with Vanderpool. Now, that's not to say that Rich may have. So I don't know. I think that there was, I'd have to look back on that, Ken. There might have been a little difficulty because that involved some of the railroad too. So I don't know what the problem was and the reason.
Well, one time we had a permit from the railroad, but I think that's long since passed, so we're gonna have to renegotiate.
So I'm not 100% sure on what the difficulty was and why it didn't happen. You'll see that happened. There's another project here too where that happened. 2nd Avenue Northeast. FY23, the first item on there. That was all negotiated to get done too, probably in the 2017 timeframe, 2018. Plans have been there, that's never been done either. So I think they're, if we look at the pricing, neither one of those, just as the estimates are written, neither one of those justifies or maybe they would, I don't want to say something I shouldn't say. I was going to say maybe they don't justify an actual bidding process. It may just be a competitive quote deal, but I'll have to make sure on that.
Well, in 16, that was part of the project that went in front of our.
Yeah, there was like a total of 5 or 6 things that were
The
bid.
flower house, the Highway 75.
Yeah. And a couple of those were removed, and a number of them were given to Vanderpool. Like the Highway 3s, I think that was the Highway 3 water expansion. There was two portions of that. That was done as part of it. But
I bring it up every year because it's an important loop and it needs to get done.
Yep.
With all the apartment buildings down there, we need that loop.
Yep. So take a good look at it and offer comments.
Anything else, Jason?
No.
Okay. Any other questions for Jason?
I appreciate having the list, because keep us up to date.
Okay, moving on to the man with the money here, Jacob, right next to us. It's all yours, Finance Director.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot today, just a reminder that budget is coming up, and so we'll be sending out the different worksheets to the departments probably early next week, and then I'll work on those, and then committee meetings we'll probably do either the last week of December or the first week of January, sometime in there. So just a heads up on that, that's coming up. It might look a little bit different this year, kind of based on what we talked about at last council meeting, but we still want to go through it with the departments, and so we'll be starting that process here. And that's all I have.
That's all? Okay. Well, we appreciate your cooperation under the conditions that we're operating under, and I entertain a motion for dismissal.
So moved, Nick.
Is there a second?
Yes, Nelson?
Good job, second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried, and have a good, safe time and stay healthy.